For being alone. That's why I wear one.
With Life Alert Protection, elderly people can often postpone going to a retirement home for several years. For a free brochure about Life Alert service, call now. 1-800-315-2424. 1-800-315-2424. Call Life Alert now for your free brochure. 1-800-315-2424.
Airing on over 200 affiliates across America, this is Tim Connolly's Winning Strategies. Call now with your questions at 1-800-336-2225 or email talk@winningstrategies.net. Now, here's Tim Connolly.
And we're live today. We've got special co-hosts Wayne Allen Root, Jan Vandersandy, and Mike King. And guys, we have gotten a few emails that we've been so busy in both hours so far that I haven't responded to either one. So Jan, I'd like to give you one on a question from one of our listeners who said they would like to know what you think of Teva Pharmaceuticals today. Teva.
Tim, first of all, remember, people got to keep the larger market in context. And we've been warning all our listeners
about this correction that was coming. Yeah, absolutely.
For a top that was coming in April, May. I predicted 6 months ago of a top in April, May based on the cycles. We warned everybody last month, buy puts, sell stocks, cover your positions, and don't be 100% invested. We hope our listeners took our advice. If they were 100% invested, there's no excuse for losing the money they did. Now, what I do expect is we made a top in mid-April, as I predicted. I predicted a sharp sell-off and a rally we will now get into late May. The rally will very likely start next week, which is option expiration, and we could top by late May, early June. Remember, early June, new money comes into the market. It'll be a lower top than we made in April. And then we're going to go down into the end of July based on the cycles. So based on that market scenario, I still recommend a lot of caution. So stocks that I do like are like drug stocks, biotechs. I prefer those to heavy industry, cyclicals, technical tech stocks, which I think will be hit harder. So for your listener,
Teva is a big generic pharmaceutical manufacturer out of Israel.
So I don't mind them as much as holding a stock like that. Would I be wrong about the market scenario? Obviously, absolutely. But at the moment, it's doing exactly as we predicted. So as long as it's doing what's predicted, you got to stick with the scenario. So a stock like that, I don't mind holding, Tim. I wouldn't be an aggressive buyer. It depends how heavily invested you are at the moment. This is not a time to be 100% invested.
Well, and this goes back to this administration, and Wayne, what we've been talking about before. You know, this year we are going to see the Bush tax cuts expire. You can book it, take it to the bank, or in other words, don't take it to the bank. We're already going to see capital gains going up to 24% from 15% next year because of the new health care bill. So I think there's going to be a tremendous amount of selling pressure through the end of the year of people who are going to take their gains now. This happens every time capital gains gets raised. Every single time people sell, and then the next year tax revenues are big for this year, and then next year they drop dramatically. And this isn't even something that's theory. You can go back and look at the data over years and years. So that in and of itself is going to place a lot of downward pressure besides all of these other brain-dead policies that are so hostile to business.
Well, you know, Tim, I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not a brilliant stock market strategist like Jan and Mike. That's not my thing. I'm a politician, and I'm actually by trade, believe it or not, a Las Vegas odds maker who became a vice presidential nominee. But having said that, I have a pretty good gut instinct as a small businessman and a guy with a lot of common sense about what's happening on Main Street. And last time I was on your show, co-hosting must have been about 3 to 4 months ago. And before that, it was another 6 months before that. And every time I've been on your show, I've said, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold.
Absolutely.
So I'm a broken record. And since I've said buy gold, at the point I started screaming it in the media, gold was about $790 to $800 per ounce. Now it's $1,233. It's up a little bit again today. I believe it's your automatic hedge against everything I see coming down the pike, which is not just the bankruptcy, insolvency, and default of Greece, but of Spain and Portugal and Italy and Ireland and France and UK and eventually the United States of America. We're never going to default only because we have the option of raising taxes to unlivable and unsustainable levels, and we have the option of printing money with the Fed at unsustainable levels. But having said all that, you're going to see massive inflation as a result of printing money and higher taxes, and the way to protect yourself, I believe, is gold.
At this point, I certainly can't disagree, and I know, Jan, we've talked about this many, many times before. Now, we've only got 30 seconds, but I'd like you to be thinking about this on the break, Jan. What about this new analyst report suggesting that gold could go to $5,000? I'd like to hear both yours and Wayne's thoughts on that, because that's just hard to imagine. I have a very difficult time fathoming that. We're going to take a break on winning strategies. We'd love to hear from you. We know people don't like to call anymore. They like to email. So go ahead, email talk@winningstrategies.net and go to the website, winningstrategies.net, and sign up. Be back after this.
Come to quality. Come to luxury. Relax at the Fountain Grove Inn Hotel and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Experience our newly renovated guest rooms, generously sized and decorated in the Tuscan tradition. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi internet access, flat panel televisions, Sealy pillow top mattresses with luxurious